Hey everyone, I wanted to go over some new and exciting news that we got for Monster Hunter Rise on the Nintendo Switch. And that's the fact that we have a couple of brand new updates for the developer campaign that the official Monster Hunter Rise Japanese Twitter account went ahead and revealed almost, I believe, around mid-August, if I want to say correctly, almost 2 months ago by now, where they basically said that the developers will be providing us with little insider information on certain areas on different places of the map in the entirety of Monster Hunter Rise, providing us with details as to pretty much some designer philosophy, designer ideas as to pretty much some of the areas in the world itself and how they came about being made, essentially. So I think it's always great to get these type of insider feedbacks from the developers themselves, because we usually never get to hear the details of how things are actually made in the game and why decisions are actually made ultimately. You guys know that I'm very big on covering developer interviews, and this one is pretty much a little bit of an extension of that, where we have a little bit more of a casual look. So first and foremost, we'll have a look at the shrine ruins at night, and according to the description they say, speaking of the moon at night in the Japanese pampas grass, it's very reminiscent to something that you saw similarly in the 3rd or 4th generation of Monster Hunter. This brings back a lot of nostalgia because it's been remade several times over. If you remember back to some of the older games, I believe there was one specific area, I'm not sure, it might have been 3 or 4, where it introduced a map where you actually get to find Nargacuga, and it was pretty much the same reminiscent type of shot that we're seeing here right now. Pretty much late at night, right next to the water. I believe there was a Plesaroth fight as well around that area as well. So it was a pretty distinctive area, if I remember correctly. So this is, they're aching back to those days as well. And the second shot that they shared, it says, a water lily and the Japanese landscape standing over the surface of the water. I visited various gardens and botanical gardens to make this happen. You'll be healed when you look at it or swaying in the surface of the water, so we highly recommend it. This is obviously referencing that little small body of water that you get to see pretty much in the prominent area in the shrine ruins, right around the middle, but you have just a little bit of the pond in the area as well. But then on the left side of the map, you also have like pretty much not just the river, but also that muddy pond as well, where you get to fight a couple of monsters there as well. Also, like Magdamalo pretty much loves to go in that area in the demo as well on the PC. And then the last shot that we have a look at here from the developers, it actually says, you can see the sunrise peeking from the mountains. You have to come here to this very spot to see the sunrise at the very side of the shrine. It's a super rare point. And what they're referencing, of course, is one of the higher points in the shrine ruins themselves, pretty much where you get to look at the overall area in the pretty much the vicinity. I do recommend you guys check it out at the very least on the PC version if you can, on the demo that is available, because obviously you have better draw distance than you do on the Nintendo Switch. Although impressively enough, and I've talked about this in the past, definitely months ago by now, one of the things that I was always impressed by the Nintendo Switch, just how the draw distance that it has is pretty good, but obviously PC is going to be better. So you get to see not just the monsters themselves from pretty far away, but you also get to see more detail, especially if you go to the top of a couple of the mountains in the shrine ruins on the PC version. So if you definitely want to check some of this stuff out and see some of the sights as well in the areas, definitely give it a look on the PC for sure. So those are just 3 of the images that we have from the developer campaign that they keep providing us information and details on some of the areas and little nooks and crannies for each one of the maps. Now, interestingly enough, as you could have seen, we're still just in the shrine ruins. We haven't even gotten into the different areas yet. So this is probably going to be one of those long haul type of projects that just the developers are just going to provide us with every couple of weeks or so, a little bit of updates here and there regarding some of their favorite places in the map. And I'm definitely going to try to keep covering them as best as possible. But that's all the information I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys found it interesting at the very least. And if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.